A very warm welcome to you. Many thanks for finding time to be with us on this edition of the program. We remain your source for all the latest happenings in the world of business. My name is Lucy Ughwode. On this edition of the program, we will take a breather from our regular pattern to bring you an exclusive interview session with the Doyen of Insurance, Olola Olabode Ogunlana, in celebration of his 70 years of passion, commitment, dedication and mentorship in the insurance industry, not just in Nigeria, but in Africa. This quintessential professional scored a lot of firsts in his 70 years voyage in the insurance industry. He was the pioneer of the African Insurance Organization, founder and promoter of Skip Nigeria & Co. Limited, a leading brokerage firm in Nigeria today. And the list goes on and on. In this once-in-a-lifetime privilege, Faith Ughwode spoke with the Doyen on a wide range of issues, from insurance to politics, the economy, and of course, projections into the future. Speaking in the course of the interview, Olola Ogunlana said that entrepreneurs must go into business not for their own sake alone, because that is the only way developing countries can come out of poverty. Take a listen.
Entrepreneurs must go into business not for their own sake alone. Einstein said, man is here for the sake of other men. And this is the only way that developing countries can pull out of poverty. You must help others. You need it in business too. So coming back to your question, the products you design must have your society in mind, their needs. What future do you see for them? You cannot do that by being selfish. United we stand, divided we fall.
What more can I say than to urge you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the first part of this exclusive interview. Now, 70 years in a particular profession, you are bound to learn something. We'll be right back with details in just a moment. Please stay with us. A very warm welcome to you. It's a pleasure to have you join us on the CEO Rendezvous this week. My name is Faith Ughwode. This is one of those occasions that you feel blessed as a journalist when you have the rare privilege and honor to be sitting down with a living legend. I'm talking about no other than Olola Olabode Ogunlana, who is the Doyen of Insurance. Today, we are exploring 70 years of insurance professionalism in Nigeria. Thank you so very much, sir, for finding time to join us on the program.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. As I said, today we are celebrating your 70 years in the insurance industry as a professional by excellence. But let me start by asking you, did you set out in the early days to be an insurance man?
Oh no, not at all. I was hoping and planning to be an architect. My A-level subjects were fine arts, physics, and that kind of thing. But with the prevailing atmosphere then, the older people I was interacting with, they were very passionate about their work. And I got infected. And when Pilate said, why don't you take the exams for fun? I did. And I passed. Then things started to happen, and the Western Nigerian government advertised scholarships by the Western Region Production Development Board. They wanted young people they would train in insurance, banking, transport, and things like that. And I put in for fun. And I had a scholarship. That was it. So I got hooked. And I've stayed on since then. And I'm still enjoying it.
Enjoying it. You made a success out of all the institutions you've had dealings with in the last 70 years. Now, let me start with our host for today, Skip Nigerian Co. Limited. How or why did you come about the idea to set up Skip, which is today is one of the leading insurance brokerage firm in Nigeria?
My last position before we started Skip was FIM Consultants Limited. F stands for finance, I for insurance, and M for management.
Okay.
Before then, I was managing director of Nikon. And when I felt that I was not cut off for the public service, I wanted to go back to the private sector where I came from. So I left and started the consultancy. And the insurance companies were my clients. At that time, you could be a consultant and be a broker. Then a new law came that said, no, if you're going to be a broker, it must be a separate company. So we set up Skip as a subsidiary of FIM Consultants. And Skip has been in business now since 1978, 44 years, and we're enjoying it. And I hope our clients are enjoying us.
Okay, sir. What was the primary vision when you set up Skip? Because at the time, I'm sure you had all the international brokerage companies playing in the Nigerian space. But as an indigenous person, what was the vision behind the company?
Well, in the colonial days, if you're going to stand out, you must be as good as the colonialists. But I said, I want to be better than them. We had expatriate companies like Glanville, City Bowring, Ken, Owen and Houghton, and so forth. We also had Nigerian companies before me. T.A. Braithwaite, the first African to become a chartered insurance practitioner, had been in practice. Akin George was in practice. Femi Johnson was there, and a few others. So with that kind of mindset, to be the best, you have to be very good. You have to be professional. You must keep on studying and updating yourself. And that was what did it. You see, most of them were running like one-man kind of business. But from day one, I decided that I wanted to run a corporate institution. So I invited other people to join me, expatriates and Nigerians. You see, it's better to have a diminishing portion of an increasing cake. I mean, I had the pie, 100%. Then I invited others to join me. At first, it might look like I am shortchanging myself. But it wasn't so. The size of the cake became bigger and bigger and bigger, so my proportion became big. So that's the secret, no other secret.
That's wisdom. Okay, sir, looking back to the vision and where Skip is today, are you satisfied?
Well, the honest answer is I am still not satisfied. I will explain.
Okay.
The first nursery rhyme that I learned in my life at St. Paul's Barefoot School way back in 1940 says good, better, best. May I never rest until my good is better and my better is best. So you can always improve, you can always do it better, and that is what we try to do here in SCIP. From time to time, we sit back and review what we are doing, finding ways of how to do it better. But then people here, and in the industry generally, they always think that I want perfection. No one can get perfection. But if you aim at the sun, you may get the moon and stars. But if your aim is low, you're going to be substandard. So we keep on working at it, and we have, suppose they have reached a good level, but I would want them to be better still.
Premiumbeat.com.
Okay, sir, let's move on to the African Insurance Organization, the AIO, where you also played a very critical role as one of the founding founders and promoters. What's informed the decision at the time when you guys came together to form the AIO?
Good. You see, we need to give honor to whom it is due. The initiative came from an Englishman, Robert Woodthorpe Brown. I spoke to him last week on the phone because the AI was going to be 50 years old.
Yes.
And they were expecting that I would be with them in Kenya. But unfortunately, I cannot be. I think the events will be between the 25th and the 28th
of June. Yes.
When I must be here. On the 29th of June, I'm going to be 90. And so there are some events that will take place just before then. And then my club, the Metropolitan Club, our annual general meeting is on the 28th of June. So there is no way I can be there. So I had to explain to Robert Woodthorpe Brown that if he goes there, he'll be representing both of us. Because out of the founding fathers, I think there are just the two of us left.
Wow.
He was working in the London market, and he traveled a lot in Africa, right from Libya, Morocco, down to Mauritius. And of course, West Africa was the most vibrant sector at that time. So he came to talk to me. I was then in Great Nigeria as chief executive. And my counterpart in Ghana was Kubina Wood. He's also late, run the SITC, Statutory Insurance Corporation of Ghana. So we were always together. So he convinced both of us that we should start that kind of organization to sensitize our colleagues in the East, in the North, and in the South. So we all got together and we agreed to start it in Mauritius. So we all went down there. Although I led the delegation, but I was not the speaker for Nigeria. Because NICON was a federal institution, whereas I was representing on the Western government. I was one of the consultants that set up NICON. I interviewed all the management staff. But things must be done correctly. When they wanted the view of Nigeria, it had to be someone from NICON. I was the delegation leader. But then when they wanted the report on Nigeria, someone from NICON went to the podium. That was in Kalijadu of blessed memory. So he spoke on behalf of Nigeria. Yes, I was one of the founding fathers, but I believe in doing things correctly. He was representing a federal institution. I was there for a Western government. We went as a strong delegation. Nigeria, Ghana, Ethiopia, Kenya, from all over Africa. And we were warmly welcomed by the then president, Dr. Ramlagoon. And it caught on, and since then, we have been exchanging ideas, and it led to a number of things, African Re and all the rest of it. And the market in Africa has expanded. If we had been in factions, the synergy would not have been that much. So AIO has served a very good purpose, and is continuing to do so now.
Okay, sir, I've always wanted to ask people like you, why was Mauritius the choice at that time for the meeting? Was there any particular reason?
Yes. Mauritius had always been bilingual. They were trading both in English and in French.
Okay.
And they had a strong Indian population which connected Asia to Africa. So we thought it was going to be a very good hub to set it there. And it was a very wise choice. And it worked. More and more of the West Africans now are becoming bilingual too. I mean, when I started SCIP, I employed someone who had French, knowing that we would have to go next door to Benin, Ivory Coast, Togo, and Cameroon and that kind of thing. So it's very good. I mean, in the old days, when you wanted to go to Ivory Coast, you had to fly to Paris and then come back to Ivory Coast.
People still do that sometimes these days. Because movements within the continent can actually be very challenging.
It's wasteful. We must get our acts together. It shouldn't be.
By that you mean, are you part of those who want a united States of Africa?
Well, even if you don't come as a seamless entity, let's make life easier for ourselves. Let us develop our transportation, our communication, and our airlines. National airlines must learn to work together. I mean, it's very wasteful, and it's a waste of time to travel to Paris, to get to Senegal, where you could be in 2 hours. Why do you need 2 days? What you can use 3 efforts for. Don't try to use 10 efforts for it. It's wasteful. We should stop it. That's what has retarded the progress of Africa.
The continent of Africa, when it comes to insurance, except for South Africa, Kenya, Morocco, and Egypt, in the West African sub-region, you find that insurance challenges that they face, they're similar. Low insurance awareness, low penetration of insurance, lack of trust, and all of that. And I've always wondered, if you just oppose some of the challenges that we still see, would you say that the AIO, in terms of promoting cooperation among leaders and all of that, part of its objective has been realized?
Partly, not fully. You see, there are cultural differences, and the dominance of the colonialists, you have to take that into account. I mean, the English colonial method is different from the French. We were colonists. In France, they regarded people in Benin Togo, Ivory Coast, Senegal as part of France.
France.
They even had representatives in parliament. So the approach was bound to be different. The English were here to exploit this place. I don't blame them. We were their colony. It's like going to the farm. Whatever you get, you take it back home. I have no problem with that. But then we became independent. You should discard that colonial mentality and do your own things. Let me give you an example. I used to be in suit like all these guys here, with the tie,
With the tie.
all the rest of it. But honestly, how convenient, how comfortable is this thing in a humid, hot country like Nigeria? So the moment I left Nikon, I discarded it. And this is where I've been dressing since then. This is what is made for a humid tropical country like ours. When I'm in an air-conditioned meeting, I wrap myself up. When I don't need it, I discard the wrapper. Air can come in there, tear, you know. Why must we continue to buy these suits and wear these ties? Is it necessary? It isn't. You must adapt things to suit your own purpose. You must innovate. That is part of progress, which we are not doing. Even in our business, you must develop products to meet the needs of your own people. In England or Spain or France, you can easily go there and buy houses. But here you can't. For example, when I first came here, these premises, there were very few houses along this Adino Ogunlana. And there was nobody at Thomas Street then.
Wow.
So when I got to Great Nigeria, one of my objectives was that every manager who served under me, when he retired, must have a roof over his head. So I designed a policy for that. We give you loan to build a house. You take a life assurance term, depending on your age, that might mature at age 55. If you're unfortunate to die, your wife inherits a house, not a loan. If you live to maturity,
The house is yours.
the money pays the loan, and you are free. You see, we must design these products to suit our needs. The market woman cannot pay the kind of premiums that we pay. We made policies designed to suit her purpose and those of workmen. And we had industrial life assurance. We had collectors with bags over their shoulders who would go round to the markets and to sites to collect the premium weekly. They can't afford to pay monthly. Why? When they want to start new businesses, they go to banks and they are asked so many questions. They make demands on them which they cannot meet. But with that kind of arrangement, it's easy. We collect the money weekly. If they want to start a small business, they can start it with the maturity sum. If someone dies, instead of going to the bank weeping, we will take it, the money. You can take loan using the policy as security. This is the kind of thing we must be doing even now. With changing times, there must be innovation.
Okay, so whatever happened to those innovative insurance products and policies?
It will depend on who the leader is. You see, most of our leaders, they have myopic view.
Okay, sir, sorry to cut into you. By leader, do you mean the national leader or leaders of the insurance industry?
Both of them. When leaders in insurance, some of them are selfish. They just want to build wealth for themselves. But a patriotic leader should not aim at building wealth for himself alone, but for his colleagues as well, or those who have invested in his business. I mean, for example, when we got our largest accounting scheme, one of my colleagues said, "Oh, you've made it. Go and buy 10 houses in Ikoyi, retire and just go home." And I told him I was not in the business of estate management, that I was in the business of insurance. So instead, I employed 5 graduates with various disciplines, engineer, quantity surveyor, and so forth. He gave us a stronger organization. I could have done what he said. That would benefit me and my family. But how does that benefit the national economy? It wouldn't. So entrepreneurs must go into business not for their own sake alone. Einstein said, man is here for the sake of other men. And this is the only way that developing countries can pull out of poverty. You must help others. You need it in business too. So coming back to your question, the products you design must have your society in mind, their needs. What future do you see for them? You cannot do that by being selfish. United we stand, divided we fall.
Premiumbeat.com.
That's our time on the program this week. Join us same time, same station next week for the continuation of this exclusive interview and highlights from the event proper, where the entire insurance industry came together to celebrate and honor one of their own. In the meantime, feel free to connect with us on all our social media platforms. Don't forget to join us every Wednesday by 9:45 a.m. on Niger FM 102.7 live for our flagship Pidgin English program, Waiting Insurance They Do Safe, powered by NICOM. My name is Lucy Lube. From the entire team, thank you for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.